Language Foundations Vocabulary Flashcards, helping you achieve understanding.
Drive obliquely. Toe and nail. Drive, a golf ball, with the toe of the club. Forepart of a hoof. Golf, the part of a club head farthest from the shaft. Hit, a golf ball, with the toe of the club. One of the digits of the foot. The part of footwear that provides a covering for the toes. Touch with the toe. Walk so that the toes assume an indicated position or direction. She toes inwards. Drive obliquely. The nail at the end of a toe. Of a law, having legal validity. Group of people willing to obey orders. A public force is necessary to give security to the rights of citizens. Physical energy or intensity. He hit with all the force he could muster. A put-out of a base runner who is required to run. The put-out is accomplished by holding the ball while touching the base to which the runner must advance before the runner reaches that base. The shortstop got the runner at second on a force. To cause to do through pressure or necessity, by physical, moral or intellectual means. She forced him to take a job in the city. Force into or from an action or state, either physically or metaphorically. Urge or force, a person, to an action, constrain or motivate. Move with force. Impose urgently, importunately, or inexorably. She forced her diet fads on him. Squeeze like a wedge into a tight space. A unit that is part of some military service. He sent Caesar a force of 6,000 men. One possessing or exercising power or influence or authority. May the force be with you. An act of aggression, as one against a person who resists. He may accomplish by craft in the long run what he cannot do by force and violence in the short one. Take by force. A group of people having the power of effective action. He joined forces with a band of adventurers. A powerful effect or influence. The force of his eloquence easily persuaded them. Do forcibly, exert force. Don't force it. Physics, the influence that produces a change in a physical quantity. Force equals mass times acceleration. Force into or from an action or state, either physically or metaphorically. She rammed her mind into focus. The first sign of the zodiac which the sun enters at the vernal equinox. The sun is in this sign from about March 21st to April 19th. Crowd or pack to capacity. Undergo damage or destruction on impact. The most common computer memory which can be used by programs to perform necessary tasks while the computer is on. An integrated circuit memory chip allows information to be stored or accessed in any order and all storage locations are equally accessible. Uncastrated adult male sheep. Astrology. A person who is born while the sun is in Aries. Strike or drive against with a heavy impact. Ram the gate with a sledgehammer. A tool for driving or forcing something by impact. Hitting a golf ball off of a tee with a driver. He sliced his drive out of bounds. The act of applying force to propel something. After reaching the desired velocity, the drive is cut off. A journey in a vehicle, usually an automobile. He took the family for a drive in his new car. Force into or from an action or state, either physically or metaphorically. He drives me mad. Have certain properties when driven. My new truck drives well. Move into a desired direction of discourse. A road leading up to a private house. They parked in the driveway. Cause to move back by force or influence. Strive and make an effort to reach a goal. A series of actions advancing a principle or tending toward a particular end. The team was ready for a drive toward the pennant. A wide scenic road planted with trees. The Riverside Drive offers many exciting scenic views. Travel or be transported in a vehicle. Proceed along in a vehicle. We drive the turnpike to work. A mechanism by which force or power is transmitted in a machine. A variable speed drive permitted operation through a range of speeds. A physiological state corresponding to a strong need or desire. Cause someone or something to move by driving. Cause to function by supplying the force or power for or by controlling. The amplifier drives the tube. Cause to move rapidly by striking or throwing with force. Drive the ball far out into the field. Compel somebody to do something, often against his own will or judgment. Computer science. A device that writes data onto or reads data from a storage medium. Excavate horizontally. Drive a tunnel. Hit very hard, as by swinging a bat horizontally. Drive a ball. Hunting. Chase from cover into more open ground. Drive the game. Hunting. Search for game. Drive the forest. Move by being propelled by a force. Operate or control a vehicle. Drive a car or bus. Push, propel, or press with force. Sports. A hard straight return, as in tennis or squash. Strike with a driver, as in teeing off. Drive a golf ball. The act of driving a herd of animals overland. The trait of being highly motivated. His drive and energy exhausted his coworkers. To compel or force or urge relentlessly or exert coercive pressure on, or motivate strongly. She is driven by her passion. Urge forward. Drive the cows into the barn. Work as a driver. He drives a bread truck. Drive something violently into a location. He hit his fist on the table. Kill intentionally and with premeditation. Gain points in a game. He hit a home run. A conspicuous success. That song was his first hit and marked the beginning of his career. Hit with a missile from a weapon. Physics. A brief event in which two or more bodies come together. Make a strategic, offensive, assault against an enemy, opponent, or a target. Affect or afflict suddenly, usually adversely. We were hit by really bad weather. Reach a point in time, or a certain state or level. The thermometer hit 100 degrees. Encounter by chance. cause to experience suddenly. An interesting idea hit her. The act of contacting one thing with another. Repeated hitting raised a large bruise. Produce by manipulating keys or strings of musical instruments. Reach a destination, either real or abstract. We hit Detroit by noon. Hit against. Come into sudden contact with. The car hit a tree. A connection made via the internet to another website. WordNet gets many hits from users worldwide. A dose of a narcotic drug. A murder carried out by an underworld syndicate. It has all the earmarks of a mafia hit. Baseball. A successful stroke in an athletic contest, especially in baseball. He came all the way around on Williams's hit. Cause to move by striking. Hit a ball. Deal a blow to, either with the hand or with an instrument. He hit her hard in the face. Hit the intended target or goal. Pay unsolicited and usually unwanted sexual attention to. He tries to hit on women in bars. Any part of an organism such as an organ or extremity. An individual quantity of food or drink taken as part of a meal. His portion was larger than hers. Assets belonging to or due to or contributed by an individual person or group. Something less than the whole of a human artifact. The allotment of some amount by dividing something. Money or property brought by a woman to her husband at marriage. Give out. Your overall circumstances or condition in life, including everything that happens to you. Success that was her portion. Something determined in relation to something that includes it. I read a portion of the manuscript. The effort contributed by a person in bringing about a result. The actions and activities assigned to or required or expected of a person or group. The government must do its part. To some extent, in some degree, not wholly. I felt partly to blame. Assets belonging to or due to or contributed by an individual person or group. A portion of a natural object. They analyzed the river into 3 parts. Something less than the whole of a human artifact. The rear part of the house. One of the portions into which something is regarded as divided and which together constitute a whole. The written part of the exam. Discontinue an association or relation. Go different ways. The business partners broke over a tax question. The melody carried by a particular voice or instrument in polyphonic music. He tried to sing the tenor part. Force, take, or pull apart. Moses parted the Red Sea. An item that is an instance of some type. My dog swallowed a Lego part. A line of scalp that can be seen when sections of hair are combed in opposite directions. His part was right in the middle. Leave. The extended spatial location of something. Religions in all parts of the world. Go one's own way. Move apart. The friends separated after the party. Something determined in relation to something that includes it. He wanted to feel a part of something bigger than himself. An actor's portrayal of someone in a play. She played the part of Desdemona. Come apart. That which concerns a person with regard to a particular role or situation. It requires vigilance on our part. One of the elements that collectively form a system of numeration. 0 and 1 are digits. The length of breadth of a finger used as a linear measure. A finger or toe in human beings or corresponding body part in other vertebrates. A finger or toe in human beings or corresponding body part in other vertebrates. A metrical unit with stressed, unstressed syllables. An external body part that projects from the body. An extreme condition or state, especially of adversity or disease. That part of a limb that is farthest from the torso. The greatest or utmost degree. The extremity of despair. The outermost or farthest region or point. The act of concealing the existence of something by obstructing the view of it. The work of applying something. A natural object that covers or envelops. Under a covering of dust. An artifact that covers something else, usually to protect or shelter or conceal it. The act of protecting something by covering it. A distinguishing style. This room needs a woman's touch. Make a more or less disguised reference to. Consume. She didn't touch her food all night. The event of something coming in contact with the body. He longed for the touch of her hand. Be relevant to. A suggestion of some quality. There was a touch of sarcasm in his tone. Have an effect upon. The act of putting two things together with no space between them. At his touch the room filled with lights. Be equal to in quality or ability. Your performance doesn't even touch that of your colleagues. A communicative interaction. He got in touch with his colleagues. A slight attack of illness. He has a touch of rheumatism. Affect emotionally. I was touched by your kind letter of sympathy. The faculty by which external objects or forces are perceived through contact with the body, especially the hands. Only sight and touch enable us to locate objects in the space around us. Tamper with. Don't touch my CDs. To extend as far as. The chair must not touch the wall. A slight but appreciable amount. This dish could use a touch of garlic. Be in direct physical contact with. Make contact. The two buildings touch. The sensation produced by pressure receptors in the skin. She likes the touch of silk on her skin. Color lightly. Cause to be in brief contact with. He touched his toes to the horse's flanks. Comprehend. He could not touch the meaning of the poem. Deal with. Usually used with a form of negation. I wouldn't touch her with a 10-foot pole. Deftness in handling matters. He has a master's touch. Make physical contact with. Come in contact with. She never touched her husband. Perceive via the tactile sense. Helen Keller felt the physical world by touching people and objects around her. The act of soliciting money, as a gift or loan. He watched the beggar trying to make a touch. The feel of mechanical action. This piano has a wonderful touch. The act of traveling by foot. Walking is a healthy form of exercise. Careers in general. It happens in all walks of life. Take a walk. Go for a walk. Walk for pleasure. The lovers held hands while walking. Manner of walking. He had a funny walk. Baseball. An advance to first base by a batter who receives 4 balls. A path set aside for walking. After the blizzard, he shoveled the front walk. Accompany or escort. I'll walk you to your car. A slow gait of a horse in which 2 feet are always on the ground. Be or act in association with. We must walk with our dispossessed brothers and sisters. Give a base on balls to. Live or behave in a specified manner. Walk in sadness. Make walk. He walks the horse up the mountain. Obtain a base on balls. The act of walking somewhere. He took a walk after lunch. Traverse or cover by walking. Paul walked the streets of Damascus. Use one's feet to advance. Advance by steps. We walked instead of driving. Walk at a pace. The horses walked across the meadow. The first largest innermost toe. The first largest innermost toe. The first largest innermost toe. A deformed toe which is bent in a claw-like arch. The 5th smallest outermost toe. Walk. Let's hoof it to the disco. Dance in a professional capacity. The foot of an ungulate mammal. The horny covering of the end of the foot in ungulate mammals. Golf. The head of the club which strikes the ball. Golf. The head of the club which strikes the ball. Golf. The head of the club which strikes the ball. Golf. The head of the club which strikes the ball. Lowest support of a structure. He stood at the foot of the tower. Pay for something. Foot the bill. Prosody. A group of 2 or 3 syllables forming the basic unit of poetic rhythm. Add a column of numbers. The part of the leg of a human being below the ankle joint. Armored from head to foot. A linear unit of length equal to 12 inches or 1/3 of a yard. Any of various organs of locomotion or attachment in invertebrates. Walk. The pedal extremity of vertebrates other than human beings. An army unit consisting of soldiers who fight on foot. There came 10,000 horsemen and as many fully armed foot. A member of a surveillance team who works on foot or rides as a passenger. A support resembling a pedal extremity. 1 foot of the chair was on the carpet. The lower part of anything. Curled up on the foot of the bed. Travel by walking. He followed on foot. The part of the leg of a human being below the ankle joint. The part of the leg of a human being below the ankle joint. Covering for a person's feet. Covering for a person's feet. Clothing worn on a person's feet. Walk on one's toes. The tip of a toe. Walking on the tips of one's toes so as to make no noise. Moving with tiptoe steps.
Become our student and get access to effective and free educational materials. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to become a part of our growing YouTube community and to learn English effectively.